Internal Revenue Service IRS tax news. National Tax Security Awareness Week opens with warning to all taxpayers and tax professionals as holidays 2021 tax season approach. IR 2020-265 November 30th, 2020 YouTube video. New security measure help protect against tax-related identity theft. There's a link to that here. Washington, the Internal Revenue Service and the Security Summit. There's a link to Security Summit. Partners today issued warnings to all taxpayers and tax professionals to beware of scams and identity theft schemes by criminals taking advantage of the combination of holiday shopping, the approaching tax season, and coronavirus. So we got kind of all these things that are coming together. Strange year with the coronavirus. We got the holiday shopping, and then of course the tax season. So you want to be aware and on the lookout for types of scams according or in relation to those things. So the IRS, state tax agencies, and the tax industry opened the National Tax Security Awareness Week to coincide with Cyber Monday, the traditional start of the online holiday shopping season. But the holiday shopping season combined with the impending tax season and an increased trend toward working remotely make online security an absolute necessity. Quote, "This generally is the hunting season for online thieves, but this year there's a dangerous combination of factors to play that should make people more alert," end quote, said IRS Commissioner Chuck Rettig. Quote, "The combination of online holiday shopping, the approaching filing season, and more of us are working remotely puts people more at risk. People can help avoid becoming victims of scams or identity thefts by taking a few simple steps to help protect sensitive tax and financial information," end quote. The IRS, state tax agencies, and the nation's tax industry working together as the Security Summit mark the start of the 5th annual National Tax Security Awareness Week with tips on basic safeguards everyone should take. The special week includes special information, graphics, and social media efforts on platforms including Twitter and Instagram. Here are a few basic steps everyone should remember during the holidays and as the 2021 tax season approaches. Don't forget to use security passwords for computers and mobile phones and keep it updated. Make sure purchased antivirus software has a feature to stop malware, and there is a firewall that can prevent intrusions. Phishing scams like imposter emails, calls, and texts are the #1 way thieves steal personal data. Don't open links or attachments on suspicious emails. This year, fraud scams relate to COVID-19 and economic impact payments. So anytime you get the email, the phishing scams are still one of the major ways that people try to scam people, and they try to give a sense of urgency on those emails or the text messages to link to a particular area and then typically guide you to some place that's not a legitimate place, like a fake website that could be showing or look like another website. So if it's from the IRS, if it's IRS related, then make sure you go to the IRS website directly, not through the link. If you want to verify if you think that the email might be legitimate in some way, then don't hit the link. Go to the IRS website directly, find the account, and go from there. So back to the text, using strong and unique passwords for online accounts. Use a phrase or series of words that can be easily remembered, or use a password manager. So there's going to be password managers that might be useful these days, like a LastPass type of thing that can help you generate complex passwords and still be able to manage your work. So use multi-factor authentication whenever possible. Many email providers and social media sites offer this feature. It helps prevent thieves from easily hacking accounts. That's basically where you're going to have 2 ways that you got to get into a certain account, by possibly giving you a phone number and possibly an email, verification type thing, as in addition to, say, a password. And that could be somewhat bothersome, but it's probably worthwhile to do. And many times you can kind of memorize a particular computer. So if you're working on a particular device, then like your home device, maybe you memorize that and you won't have to do the multi-factor authentication every time. And when you're using mobile type of devices, it might be best to be using multi-factor kind of authentication, in those circumstances. So shop on sites where the web address begins with HTTPS. The S is for secure communications over the computer network. Also look for the padlock icon in the browser window. So HTTPS is the more secure kind of online experience at these days. And Google Chrome, if you're searching in Google Chrome, they kind of require HTTPS. And if you do not have it, you will not have the little padlock. You'll have a unlocked padlock and a red line through it possibly. So you don't really want to shop or be putting credit card information into an unsecure website, one that doesn't start with an HTTPS, doesn't have the padlock on it. Anywhere you shop at, obviously online, when you're giving payment information to online areas, then that's a place that you want to be confident of the website that you're going to. So don't shop on unsecure public Wi-Fi in places like mall. Remember, thieves can eavesdrop. So whenever you're out on a mobile phone and you're not on your internet service, you're on someone else's Wi-Fi basically, then you want to be careful of that because other people can get it. So you don't want to be shopping on a mall Wi-Fi or something like that, because that can be more risky. People might be able to pick up sensitive information on that. At home, secure home Wi-Fis with passwords. With more homes connected to the web, secure systems become more important, from wireless printers, wireless door locks, and wireless thermometers. These can be access points for identity theft. So nowadays, even obviously in the home, we're more on the Wi-Fi within the home. And now, of course, having a Wi-Fi system becomes a more of a risk as well. So backup files on computers and mobile phones, a cloud server or an external hard drive can be used to copy information from computers or phones, providing an important place to recover financial or tax data. So your data, you don't want it just on the hard drive there. You want to back it up into another hard drive, an external hard drive possibly, or possibly there's various online backup systems that you can do, so that if there is a problem, if your computer gets hacked, if you get malware on it or something like that, and the thing crashes, then you want to be able to get the financial information in some other location. Working from home, consider creating a virtual private network, VPN, to securely connect your workplace. So if you're working from home, especially if you have remote locations that are remote into your home, then you want to be working with the VPN and make sure that you're secure with all those kind of connections. In addition, the summit partners note these security measures include mobile phones, an area that people sometimes can overlook. Thieves have become more adept at compromising mobile phones. So obviously, when we think about securing our system in terms of our computer systems, we typically we think we're going to secure our actual computer system to get our data secure in that way, and then oftentimes the access point could be the phone, which we think of as a phone, but really at this point it's basically a computer, and that can be connected to the network as well. It could be an access point then into the network. So phone users also are more prone to open a scam email from the phone than their computer. So oftentimes when we're using our phone, I believe this would be the reason for that. We're on the go, we're doing multiple different things, and we're trying to check our emails kind of as we go, multitasking. So because these scam emails are going to be rush emails, they're going to say, do this now so that you can take care of it now. There's a time-sensitive thing going on here. And because we're multitasking, we're more likely to do something stupid and hit the phishing email and go to a particular website on it or something like that than we would if we were sitting down working and not doing 10 things at one time. So taxpayers can check out security recommendations for their specific mobile phone by reviewing the Federal Communications Commission's smartphone security checker. There's a link to that here. Since phones are used for shopping and even for doing taxes, remember to make sure phones and tablets are just as secure as computers. And that takes some research to do to make the phone as secure as the computer, because obviously they might have different operating systems and whatnot. So if you use the phone a lot to do especially financial information and whatnot, then you want to do some research in terms of how you can make the phone secure in similar ways as you would make your computer secure. The IRS will not call, text, or email about your economic impact payment or your tax refund, nor will the IRS call with threats of jail or lawsuit over unpaid taxes. Those are scams. So the economic impact payment is going to be a big scam at this point in time, or not a big scam. The economic impact payment itself is not a scam, but people are using the economic impact payment to scam. And again, usually they'll put some kind of pressure within the email saying, give me this information now, or there's going to be some consequences, as if we're the IRS making these consequences happen. But the IRS is not going to be calling people or texting people and requiring immediate information. And they also do not make immediate threats that way, saying, hey, give us this information now or you're going to go to jail or something like that. That's not how the IRS works, because the IRS is a slow bureaucratic system. So you'll typically know if the information, what information is needed, because they'll send information out and it'll be kind of typically a slow process towards action being taken. And typically the action that's going to be taken by the IRS should be known well in advance, because they will be notifying well in advance. The Federal Bureau of Investigation issued warnings early about fraud and scams related to the pandemic. It specifically warned of COVID-19 scams related to taxes, antibody testing, healthcare fraud, cryptocurrency fraud, and others. COVID-related fraud complaints can be filed at the National Center of Disaster Fraud. So there's a whole different, other than just the IRS and the economic impact payment related to the COVID-19, there's obviously a whole lot of different things that people can think of to try to scam people based on the tragedy of the COVID-19 thing, unfortunately. So the Federal Trade Commission also has issued alerts about fraudulent emails claiming to be from the Centers of Disease Control or the World Health Organization. Consumers can keep atop the latest scam information and report COVID-related scams at Coronavirus COVID-19 Pandemic, the FTC, in action. There's a link to that here. The IRS state tax agencies, the private sector tax industry, including tax professionals, work in partnership as the Security Summit to help protect taxpayers from identity theft and refund fraud. This is the first in a week-long series of tips to raise awareness about identity theft. See irs.gov/security summit for more details. There's a link to that here. There'll be a link to this in the description.